Welcome back for the final time in terms of 6 games on the evening, our second on MyIndyTV. It is the Forum Tip-Off Classic from Southport Fieldhouse. Today's game on ISC and MyIndyTV, presented in part by the Ed Martin Automotive Group. Ed Martin, the only name you need to know. By Galitco and Daily Work Injury Lawyers. Learn more at IndianaWorkers.com. By the IndyCard Exchange. Go to IndyCardExchange.com to see how you can make money off of your collection. By Old National Bank. Visit us at oldnational.com. By Summers Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Proud to support high school sports. And by Wabash College. Schedule your visit today at wabash.edu. Alongside Mike Broughton, my name is Greg Rakestraw. Thanks for joining us here on ISC and MyIndyTV. The Fishers Tigers come in at 4-0, and simply put, they have been lighting people up. And not exactly a bunch of chumps. Look how good Noblesville looked in the game before. Fishers beat them by 34 last week. Fishers beat Ben Davis without Mark Zachary by 35. They beat Mount Vernon, who has Luke Girdle, and beat them by 31. They were off last night. They are rested. For Crispus Attucks, they're not. They have now played a third consecutive night. They lost to LaPorte La Lumiere. They beat Warren Central. But Mike, the story for Crispus Attucks is they are 6-1. And their best player in Desmond Briscoe has played in just one game so far this year.
They play so hard. I've watched them play now a couple games, and they just play hard, and they got a lot of pieces they can put together. When Briscoe comes back, they're kind of like Jeff. You're not sure what you're going to get when they come back in full force, but we have a lot of the key players in the state injured right now, so you're not going to know a whole lot until after Christmas.
Fishers was 29-1 last year. That one loss was at Carmel. They won their first sectional, regional, semi-state, and state championship program history. And, Mike, everyone thinks they're better than they were a season ago.
Well, so far they are, and it's really because they shoot the ball so well. I mean, they have shot the ball fantastic, over 60% through the first few games. And so can they continue to do that? I doubt it, but they're also very good on defense.
Desmond Briscoe again on your screen. We will not see him tonight. Again, I think we will see him in the next couple of weeks for this Attucks team. We'll take this 2-minute timeout. When we come back, keys the game, starting lineups, and opening tip-off of our finale from the Marion County Mecca. It is number 1 Fishers. It is number 2 Crispus Attucks. It's yours next on ISC and MyIndyTV.
Being a Division III athlete, I can be an athlete and still have very strong academics, especially here at Wabash.
Professors here are super supportive of the athletic work that we do. That's a really great way that Wabash supports its student athletes.
I love being a Division III athlete. I have a tremendous amount of work being a biochemistry major, and I can still flip the switch, go to practice, play the sport that I love, and you can do both.
What's in a name? What's in a name? Ed Martin Automotive Group, the only name you need to know.
McCulling in time. Oh, no! It's good.
This one is good.
There you
go.
go.
Wow, Dawson makes a great catch.
Spin, win, 3, bury it for Leland Walker.
Tie the game they do with the dunk by Malik Edmonds. What a play.
Oh, my goodness.
I feel a little momentum starting to fall Ellen's way.
Wrestler! Wrestler!
Whoa!
Ball here. Harris scores. With 19 seconds remaining.
Big players, big boy. I'm telling you right now, that's awesome. I love it.
That's the finish. You get a layup taken and an and one. Starting lineup's about to be introduced. Attucks just word of the crowd. We'll bring you theirs in a matter of moments. Here's the starting 5 for the Fishers Tigers. Gardner and Zachary, who saw significant minutes as freshmen, are now back as sophomores. Justin Kirby is going to play at Miami of Ohio. Christian Smith from their staff is here to watch him play. John Anthony Hall is going to play football at Stanford. And Nathan Baker rounds out the starting five, a 6'6 senior. What a job that Garrett Weininger has done. And let me brag on John Anthony Hall for a second. He had a weekend in June. He competed in the track and field state finals. Then he played for Mike's Junior All-Stars in Scottsburg the next day. And he's playing neither of those sports in college. He's going to play football at Stanford. There you see Garrett Weininger, 29-1, 7-0, and Hoosier Crossroads Conference play last year. Now, starting five for Chris Hawkins and the Crispus Attucks Tigers again. No Desmond Briscoe. So you will see Roncion Thomas, Chris Hertz, Amon Cousins, Caden English. It looks like Alexander Harris is going to get the nod tonight for Crispus Attucks. Let's quickly get to keys. They are brought to us by Bailey and Wood. Our starters presented by Old National Bank. Coach, what are you focusing on in terms of the keys for tonight's game?
Well, first is Attucks have the legs to be able to stay up 3 days in a row. They've played a lot of tough teams here in the last couple days. Attucks has got to sprint back because Fishers is on the fly, and they're shooting a lot of threes and driving the ball to the basket. And then it's a game of runs. Fisher will hit you with 10. You got to bounce back with 5 or 6 of your own.
Fantastic officiating crew for tonight's game. Chris Shields, Rob Wan, and Dan Beecham, our three-man crew for tonight's contest. Thanks for joining us on ISC and My Indy TV. Our officials brought to us by Andrew Prince of Andrew Prince Realty. Fishers in a man-to-man to start things off. The pull from the free throw line, that's English. He's fouled, he'll shoot 2. And frankly, part of the story of this Attucks team is players that were playing someplace else a season ago. English had been at Brownsburg the last few years, now as a senior playing for Crispus Attucks. Began the weekend, 9 points and 3 rebounds a game. He'll shoot twice. Baker, the guilty party on the foul.
Well, good play to start by Attucks. Nice little curl. Fighting hard to get the jump ball. That ball would bounce through a lot of hands. So I think Attucks does not want to run up and down with Fishers. Usually they do, but I don't know if today would be a good idea or not.
English misses them both, but good rebound pulled down by Harris. Harris had played at Tech. Younger brother of Aaron Harris that played at Lawrence North and Michigan State. On the drive, shot blocked by Baker. Wiped away the effort of Caden English. So first possession for the Tigers. And this is their 5th game of the season for Attucks. This is already game number 8. There are some gaps in the Flying Tigers schedule this year, but very front-loaded. And remember, Attucks is playing in 3A this season. Locally, they, Cathedral, and New Pal all drop from 4A to 3A. Moving screen violation against Justin Kirby, and quickly, that's 2 fouls, and the Miami of Ohio commit, he will exit out as Millen McCartney will check in.
Well, Kirby got off to a bad start the first minute with 2 fouls. Kind of a silly foul right there. Pressure by Fishers. Attucks breaks it.
So here's Hurt, 4-year contributor at Crispus Attucks. He and Briscoe would both be in that category. Turnover committed by the Tigers.
Attucks has the quickness to play Fishers. With Briscoe, they would have the size that would be able to block some things, but they got the quickness if they can just stay with them here 3 games in a row. Of course, Lalamere and Warren Central, they're not cupcake schools. They've played tough teams here in the last couple days.
Yeah, Warren without 2 starters played exceedingly well to beat Riley in the first game of the day. Gardner takes contact in the air. Rebound controlled by Thomas, a 6'4 senior. Amon Cousins played here at Southport last year. Came into the weekend averaging 16 points, 3 rebounds, and 3.5 assists a game. Attucks got a lot of folks' attention when they beat Lawrence North 2 weeks ago. The drive does not go. Shot taken and missed by Harris. Hall. Zachary.
Good job covering the 3-point line. Fishers shoots the 3 at 58% right now. They covered well.
Baker able to track it down. 3, got it. Millen McCartney, 42% from 3-point range, knocks it down. Foul going to be called against John Anthony Hall.
That was one physical play right there, bringing that basketball up the court.
He does not shy away from that.
You could make a pretty good football team out of the last 2 games. We've had some big-time football guys playing.
Catch and shoot 3, splash.
Hurt's just a good player. Like you said, 4 years, 14 points a game. He's just steady, has 7 assists.
And physically, he's caught up a little bit, too.
Yeah.
He's a taller player than we saw a season ago.
7 assists, 2 turnovers.
Foul on the dish. Underneath, out of bounds here for the Tigers. Fishers has their huge rivalry game against Hamilton Southeastern. The Mudsock game will take place at the Fishers Event Center. We got a flop warning, looks like, at the other end.
You don't see many of those.
At the high school level,
At
no.
the high school level.
No. Chris, one of the leading officials in the state of Indiana. Good basket cut by Baker. Left it short. Hall, the rebound, scores it. Hall last year was their 2nd leading scorer. How much has this team developed? He's their 6th leading scorer so far this year.
Yeah, he doesn't have to shoot as much, and he doesn't shoot, but he really gets it done on the defensive end, rebound the basketball.
He was tremendous in the state championship game a year ago. One where Fishers beat Ben Davis. They opened the season with Ben Davis last year, finished the season with Ben Davis a year ago. Won them both. Their lone loss was at Carmel at the end of January. The dive to Baker. Very connected, this Fishers team. And I'm not sure Baker had much elevation on that jump shot, but he found the target.
And started the year 4 of 5, now 5 of 6 from 3 points, so he probably should shoot it some more.
It can come from anywhere on any night for this Fishers team. Their top 6 scorers all back from last year's 9-man rotation. Shot taken and missed by Harris. Good hands by Hurt. And a timeout. Oh. I think he was signaling a play, not asking for a timeout. Dan Beecham will come over and talk to Garrett Weininger. And we got a great crew. Both Dan and Rob have extensive experience refereeing professional basketball. And of course, I'm not sure there's an official that is the social media star that Rob Wan is, who just handed the ball off on the inbounds pass. We would see Rob doing ABA games with the Indiana Lions over the years on ISC. Shot blocked, and then Baker commits the foul.
Good job of defense on the inside for Addicts. Thomas got up with the big man. Baker got the block. Addicts, good defense on the inside.
Full court man pick up here by the Tigers. Just one field goal these first 4 minutes. Hurt trying to change that. Not that time. 14.5 points a game entering the weekend. Gardner on the drive, scoop and score.
Gardner has a gear that not many have, and Fishers hits him 10-3, and you don't think Addicts is playing that bad.
Timeout taken by Addicts. Let's see if it's a 30 or a full. Chris Hawkins doing some lobbying with Chris Shields about a non-call at the other end. It is a full timeout, so let's step aside. 3:07 to play in quarter number 1. Tigers lead by 7 on ISC and MyIndy TV.
Got fouled, got the dunk, got the poster, and gets the highlights. Now he takes the look away, and he puts it away. Brewer jams it home. That ball wiggles in and into the back of the net.
A little fireworks in the first half.
Throw it up for Tillman.
Whoa, my goodness.
122.60 for Penn.
What a swim. Six of them.
It does.
Full court pickup by Fishers. Fishers has not missed a beat. They've had 4 different players score a basket so far. They've held this very good Attucks team to 1 field goal. Tigers, as in Fishers, the unquestioned #1 in the state. There's a basket for Amon Cousins.
Good offense out of a timeout there by Coach Hawkins.
Gardner a bobble and a recovery. Baker lines it up, knocks it down. Baker's second 3.
Yeah, you get a guy 6'8" out there on the outside. You pull the defense out. The whole inside's wide open for penetration. Makes Fishers really good if he can shoot it.
8-point lead for the Tigers. You know Desmond Briscoe for Attucks. Power move inside does not go, and Gardner had it, lost it. Hurt tracks it down, and his pocket is picked by Zachary. McCartney the save, but an immediate find, and then, yep, offensive foul, absolutely. Led with his shoulder to English. The speed at which that sequence just unfolded was remarkable to behold.
Yeah, there was a lot of quickness. In fact, if you're not quick in this game, you better be 6'8", because everybody else has quickness.
If you're just tuning in, no Desmond Briscoe. He's been out. He played the first game of the year, got hurt. 30 points, 10 rebounds a game. He is going to be back sooner rather than later. It's going to be a foul on the crash, and it'll be a foul against Fishers, which should be free throws at the other end. Going to be on Hall. That is the 15th foul, so it should be 2 free throws. So we walk the other end for the free throws. So Cousins to the line to shoot 2. Today's game presented in part by the Ed Martin Automotive Group. When it comes to your next vehicle, Ed Martin is the only name you need to know. And Ed Martin is always proud to support the Fishers Tigers. Make sure the lineups are what they were supposed to be.
There's a lot of confusion for a foul, I know that.
Eric Jackson Jr., who was a starter for most of last year for Attucks, had already entered the game. He has to wait till after the first free throw to be able to technically enter. And Cousins makes it. Now everybody can come into the game. Cousins on the season, a 79% free throw shooter, and that was coming into the weekend. And Attucks, after playing 3 in a row, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, they're off until Tuesday when they play host to Lawrence Central. As we mentioned in the last game, they will see Jeffersonville next week down at Evansville-Bosse. Gardner.
Good matchup, Gardner against Hurt. I mean, that's 2 quality guards in the state.
Zachary off the bounce, rattles it in. 59% from three-point range in the season and makes that one. 4th made triple for the Tigers. Hurt down the lane, no. Great crash on the rebound, put back for Caden English. Zachary, other end. Different result, but there's Kirby playing with 2 fouls, gets his first bucket.
Tell you what, Fishers just keeps the heat on you. There's no problem about that. At 80 points a game right now they're scoring. They just keep coming at you.
And what makes this Fishers team great is that there's not a guy you say, hey, if we take away that player, we're fine. That's not how this group is wired.
Yeah, and most teams in the state have that. They have to take somebody away, but these guys you can't really take. I guess the guy you would try to take away is Gardner, but I don't know if you have anybody quick enough to do it.
Tommy Williams will check in. Now here's Julius Spann, transfer from Warren Central.
One thing about Addicts, you bring a lot of bodies in, so if you play 3 or 4 days in a row, it really doesn't make much difference. He can go fairly deep.
Good find. Spann just checked in, lets it fly. That does not go in. Logan Sigler, a 6'6 senior, had the rebound, but couldn't hang on to it. And Addicts opened their season by beating Tech, and they play John Burroughs of Missouri. Then beat Lawrence North, North Central, and East Chicago Central. This is our third consecutive Saturday night of us having the Tigers. We won't see them for a while after this one. Next time we see Addicts, we'll be at Ben Davis on February the 1st on ISC. English from 16, yes.
Great move by English there. Got some body on the defender, popped out, hit the shot.
Good find. See if Fishers elects to hold for a last look here. Zachary, great job to avoid that potential trap. Still plenty of time. Here's McCartney. Williams finds Kirby. Perfect in the execution.
Excellent job on offense there to kill the end of the first quarter, 20-11.
A 20-point opening stanza for the Tigers of Fishers. They lead by 9. Back in 60 seconds on ISC and MyIndy TV.
Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays from Peterman Brothers. As a special gift to you, we brought back our free furnace promotion one more month. All December, when you install a qualifying heating and cooling system with Peterman, the furnace is free. Celebrate in style and comfort this winter with your new system. And rest easy knowing we strive to provide 5-star service to you with every call. Just visit PetermanHVAC.com to schedule your free furnace installation today.
Shot at the buzzer. Got it! She got it! Oh my goodness, what a shot!
Hello! Did it again. Hello! Made the highlight reel again. That goes to Mentor and all kinds of room to run. Down the middle of the field, and he will not be touched. Jackson, hello! There we go.
Stokes throws it, caught, ball, ricochets.
Wow.
A huge hit.
Wow.
This has been an amazing display of goal scoring.
Tonight's game brought to us part by Runners Body Works. Today's vehicles are complex machines. Why not trust your vehicle to someone who can repair it right? Runners Body Works, your source for quality collision repair since 1965. Contact Runners at 317-773-9792. Tigers aplenty in today's game. The Fishers Tigers, the Crispus Addicts Tigers, and frankly, two sets of Tigers that could be state champs this year, with Addicts now being a 3A school. They won the 3A title in 2017. They spent 5 years in the 4A level. The Crispus Addicts. McCartney, 3 in the corner.
Man, they're like a machine. The extra pass, nobody's selfish on that team. They really pass the basketball to each other. Whoa.
Made 3. They lead by a dozen. On the drive, and that's going to be an offensive foul. McCartney takes the charge. Second one taken by a Tiger of Fishers.
Well, when you have a veteran team coming back from winning the state, you feel pretty confident to begin with, and then they have really improved over the summer. Some of their skill sets have really improved, and they're much better defensively than they were a year ago.
And their leading scorer graduated in Keenan Garner. And we talked about this so much last year, I almost hesitate to bring it up. Remember, Jalen Harrelson could have been in this group as a senior.
Yeah.
And they're still this good.
Well, I know Harrelson's good, but I don't think he would have made them that much better because these guys play together. And so I like this together stuff a lot better than any individual player.
And we talk about better than last year as Gardner hits this one. My goodness, they were 29-1 in state champs last year as Gardner gets the bucket and has an and one opportunity.
Well, Addicts is in trouble, as I kind of thought they would be. Can't play 3 days in a row and expect to play these guys. You need a week's rest before you play these guys. So Fisher's a clinic because they're unselfish. You know, you get the feeling from Fisher's it's all about the ring. It's not about the individual guy. And, you know, there's not many teams in the state that I can say that.
Lamar Jones will enter. Senior, played at Crystal House before coming to Crispus Attucks. Gardner missed that one. That was the first free throw attempted by the Tigers. You don't use the word blitzkrieg very often these days. That's kind of what Fishers has done so far. That three does not go. Taken and missed by Harris.
Problem with Fishers is whoever rebounds it can actually take it to the basket. Extra pass there.
Yeah, your 5 just drove the ball and passed to your 4 to take a 3. And Gardner, it could be your 1 or your 2, ends up missing that one. Hurt from 22. Beautifully lines it up. His second made 3.
Well, Hurt's a guy that can keep Attucks in this game because, like you said, his 4 years of experience. Plus, he plays tough. He's a physical guy. Him and Hall, good matchup. He just took it from Hall.
And picked the pocket of the Fisher senior, but could not finish over the 6'6" Baker. From defense to offense in the blink of an eye for the Tigers. And Gardner on the drive, no.
Good movement by Gardner, just couldn't finish, didn't use his left hand.
Deeper than deep 3 does not go for Cousins.
You don't want to do that, that's for sure. Too deep a shot, no rebounders, and then Fishers can take off on the run again.
Cousins entered the weekend shooting 63% from three-point range, and steps called against Derby. Thomas will check in. Williams in. Williams a 6'3" junior. We have seen 8 plays so far for Fishers.
And there's really not much of a drop-off when you bring in any of the 8. And that's why there's going to be so hard to beat is, like you said earlier, there's nobody you can really key on. If I shut him down, I'm going to win the game. That's not going to happen this year against Fishers.
We'll see Fishers next in the Hall of Fame Classic on ISC as Hurt drives, draws contact, and will shoot 2. And Fishers in the morning game at Newcastle will take on Warsaw. That's Matt Moore coaching against his former team in Fishers. Of course, Greenfield, Central, and Jeffersonville round out that field, so you saw 3 of those 4 teams here today on the ISC Sports Network. Tonight's game presented in part by Perky's Heating and Cooling. Call 317-984-5682. Perky's Heating and Cooling in Cicero for all your heating and cooling needs. The many loyal customers give rave reviews to the service provided by Perky's Heating and Cooling. Call John or Cindy at 317-984-5682 to set an appointment. Perky's prides themselves on excellent service.
You know, I may miss a couple teams on this, but these last 3 games here today at Southport, the last 3, plus Crown Point and Carmel, and maybe 1 or 2 others, and there's your 4A state champion. Somebody of these teams, because I think the gap is great after that. I mean, it's a big drop-off after that. So this thing at Southport, I told Nick, this is pretty good. I also want to put a plug in for the secretary, Nikki. Without her, the All-Star game would have folded during COVID. She was my ticket manager. I had 1 person. She did great.
Of course, this was the home of it for 2021 and 2022. Gamebridge Fieldhouse each of the last 2 seasons. Before going back to the home of the Pacers and Fever in 2025.
Good defense by Attucks off those little curls.
Baker again for 3, not that time. But that's going to be Fisher's ball off the hands of Jones.
When I saw him the other day, I didn't think he'd make them, but since he's made, that's only the 2nd miss of the year, and he's like 6 for 8, I think there's a good chance when he shoots it, it's going to go in.
Hall. Nope, could not finish. Well, Fishers has slowed offensively, and that's going to be a moving screen on Jones.
Well, Attucks is putting up a fight. There's no doubt about that. They're going to fight to the end because he's got a lot of bodies to run in. Fishers just keeps rolling. You take out Hall, you put in Gardner, you take out this one, you put in Kirby. You know, I mean, it's a, wow, a lot of bodies.
Fishers will host their holiday tournament after the new year. They're going to have an 8-teamer on January 2nd and 3rd. Baker, beautiful step through.
Good move by Baker on the inside. Wow.
Just solid fundamental basketball for Baker.
They're the size they can switch most everything. Help on the inside.
On the turn and one. And Baker going to be called for the foul, which is going to be his second. So Baker 2, Kirby 2. That's the only negative right now for Fishers. Addicks go a little bit deeper in the bench if this free throw is good, and it's not. The lead is at a dozen. It's been as large as 16. Sigler back in there, and he'll be called for a moving screen. And my partner was quick to point out to me during the last break that we both know Logan's dad pretty well, because he played for you at Jeffersonville, and I called his games at Franklin College.
Yep, Jimmy played on our team in the 95 team, and we went 23-5. He was one of the leading scorers, and we got to the state finals and got beat in the afternoon game. And son looks a lot like him, except his son's a little bigger. Jimmy was a double-figure scorer for us at Jeffersonville.
Almost a steal. Hurts draws contact from Zachary, and Hurt to the line to shoot 2. And he played for the guy that is now the president of Franklin College, and Kerry Prather.
Yep. Saw Kerry the other day and done a great job there as coach, president, AD, and all the above.
You sent him 2 great players on some of Franklin's best teams from 20 years ago. He and Billy Scott had outstanding careers at Franklin College.
Yeah, Billy was 6'6" and had a great job. Did a great job for us at Jeff as well as at Franklin College.
Our presenting sponsor for high school hoops on ISC and MyIndy TV, Summers Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. They're proud to support high school sports. Contact Summers for your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. They are located near you. So Hurt now with 8. And make it 9.
Got a text message from the athletic director at Fishers watching this game. Said we're 2 pretty good announcers, but he thinks his team's better. I don't know. I guess that's probably true. Jim Brown.
I was going to say, is that Brownie or Seymour? There's a couple of them there.
No, Brownie's been my guy. We were on the IHSA board together, and he's one of the great administrators in the state of Indiana.
Yes, he is. 5-second call against the Tigers of Fishers.
Well, Addicks has withheld the storm.
Yep.
And now it's only 10 with 3 to go, and they've got the pace the way they want to play. I think they've slowed Fishers up really with just good defense.
Hurt, tough shot. He's got it up on the rim. Good board by Addicks. Shot won't go, but free throws to follow. And again, because the schedule that Addicks plays, they're not going to back down from the challenge.
No. And Jones is big, about 6'8", and physical on the inside, and really worked hard to get that rebound. Got him a free throw.
Today's game presented in part by Shields Assigning Services. Chris Shields, team of tonight's game, one of Indiana's top officials, responsible for the assignment of officials for many major events, including this one, the Forum Tip-Off Classic. To become an IHSA official, we need you. Scan the QR code on your screen now to find out how easy and rewarding it can be. Plus, your first-year license is free. Jones goes 1 of 2 from the stripe. But again, what was a 16-point game is now down to 9.
They've come back, Addicks, just on hustle of defensively with 8 or 9 players. They just keep running bodies at you. And the weakness of Fisher, if they have any, is the fact that big guys can get the best of them on the post.
Kirby sits with 2 fouls. Zachary, I think, fouled before the shot. Hold called against Addicks. Just the 4th foul against Addicks. That's A.J. Jones that's out there currently for Crispus Addicks. So no free throws on that. Next foul against Attucks will send the Tigers to the line. And Kirby and Baker each sit with 2 fouls. Zachary for 3. No. And A.J. Jones the rebound. Cousins blocked. Hall got that one. And then in the scrap for the loose ball, we will see free throws at the other end.
You got to think that's a bad shot. If you get one blocked from 3, you should have passed it because, I mean, they're just in too big of a hurry. Good job by Gardner hustling to get the deflection.
Tonight's game brought to us by the Indy Card Exchange. Now for more than 30 years, the Indy Card Exchange has been your trusted source for buying and selling trading cards of all kinds. And folks, you got 11 days until Christmas, all right? You got a sports fan you want to buy a gift for? I guarantee you they got something your sports fan will like at the Indy Card Exchange. Go to IndyCardExchange.com. Better yet, just go to their shop on 96th Street, just west of I-69. Gardner makes 1 of 2. Jones for 3. No. Fight for the loose ball. Good crash by Thomas. Roncione Thomas.
See, that's the weakness of Fishers, again, is just being able to rebound the basketball. They're quick, but they have a lot of fairly small bodies out there right now, 6'2", 6 foot, and don't have a lot of size.
And Zachary with the off-arm, the offensive foul.
Impressed with Attucks. They looked like they were going to get blown out of this at the beginning of the game, down 16, and then they have just fought back. And they've been the more physical squad here in the last 4 minutes of this game.
You've heard me say this probably in off-season conversations. New Pal, Attucks, and Cathedral are amongst 3 of the best 10 to 15 teams in the state. And they're all in 3A this year. And don't forget South Bend St. Joe that made it last year. And they've added a player in Ethan Roseman on that team as well. There are some really good 3A teams this year for Attucks. They and Cathedral will play in the same sectional at Shortridge in 3A coming up in March.
Well, I think they should be moved up to 4A because they got good teams this year so we can see who really the best team is, because all 3 of those teams would have a chance to win the state.
You could argue Cathedral is as good as any team in the state. Timeout called by Attucks. Let's see if it's a full or a 30. Looks like it's of the 30-second variety, so we will keep it right here. This 30-second timeout just got sponsored by the Indiana All-Stars. What's new in terms of the All-Star games for 2025?
Well, we got the NBA and the WNBA to get our date. So it's June 7th. We play at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. June 6th in Kentucky. Not sure where they're going to play. I think we're going to have 2 really good teams. And then Kentucky's got a big 7-1 guy that's going to Kentucky from Kentucky, a school in Kentucky who's probably the best big guy they've had in 20-some years. And so with the change of coaches in the University of Kentucky and Louisville, their team's on a big upgrade because all of those kids are getting to play where they didn't used to get to play. So I think the games last year were 2 points and 3 points in Indianapolis, and they probably will beat us again this year.
Malachi Miranda, you talk about that player from Kentucky, plays AAU ball with a lot of the Indiana kids. Jones, the pull-up off the bench. And it's a 6-point game. It is a 13-3 run by Crispus Attucks. Jean-Claude Lahome steps called.
Well, I tell you what, for Attucks, they have come in with some substitutes. A.J. Jones here, number 23. He's the smallest kid on the court, but he is active. He is active and got a lot done here in the last couple minutes. So they just keep bringing him off the bench. They're trying to get A.J. in the right spot, but Hurt taking it to the basket.
Williams' jump ball is going to be called. It'll stay here. And now we can kind of go check on Tommy Williams, because he and Hurt bumped heads on his way to the basket.
I'll tell you what, Hurt's one of the best guards in the city for sure, because he'll take you on. I mean, he's just played enough basketball to just be able to take anybody on as far as any of the teams that they play. Need a good shot here, only down 6. They've worked themselves back in it.
Hurt, that's a good shot.
That's a good shot when Hurt can shoot it. Good job by Hurt on the little pull-up.
He's got 11. It's down to a 4-point game. Again, Fisher's closest margin of victory so far this year, 28 against Tech. What it's worth, Attucks beat them by 35. Gardner will hang on for a last shot. Attucks content to allow him to do so. Neither team has a foul to give. High ball screen from Sigler. Gardner on the attack, lost the handle. Chance for Attucks here. Hurts. English fouled. And English will shoot two.
Great defensive effort by Attucks on that last possession. Then they get the run out, looking ahead, make that extra pass. Hurt made the extra pass, and they go up strong to the basket, have a chance to close it to 2 points.
English 0 of 2 from the line earlier in the game. As a team, now 7 of 12 is Attucks in this one. You know Desmond Briscoe, but they are hanging around. Got this one to English. He's got 6. Gardner will try to roll it, get it as far as he can from half court. Will come up just a bit short. It was 27-11. At halftime, it is just a 2-point game. Fisher's 30, Attucks 28. We're back after this on ISC and MyIndy TV.
It may seem like 5 cans might not be a lot, but together these donated cans can help create a happier and healthier community. Summers Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling is offering a $69 tune-up when you donate to our local food drive. With Summers PHC matching your donation, we're connecting strangers to neighbors from generation to generation. Get your $69 tune-up now with Summers PHC.
Jackson takes the handoff, throws the deep ball. He's got a man. Catch made. Rolling, throwing, has a man. First down, the grab by Cyrus. Billingsley keeps. Billingsley spins away from the tackle. Still going. Touchdown, Snyder. Back on the ISC Sports Network and MyIndy TV at the break. 30-28. Fishers leads Attucks. If you're just joining us, this was a 16-point game not long ago. Mike, your thoughts on half number 1?
Tell you what, Attucks has a lot of bodies. They don't have their big gun on the inside, but they all play well. Hurt is the leader of the squad. He gets everybody in the right place, and they just outfought Fishers in the second quarter. Fishers went a little cold. They have to rely on those jump shots, and they couldn't make them in the second quarter, and a lot of that had to do with Attucks.
This is an Attucks team that graduated 2 players on the college basketball programs last year. Another one that's a major college prospect. Briscoe isn't playing yet. Here they are hanging with the best team in the state, down by 2 at the break. We'll take this quick timeout. We'll come back with our latest installment of Wabash College Halftime Trivia. And yes, Mike, it's a different question than the game before. Back to Southport in a moment on ISC and MyIndy TV.
You get this really close interaction, not only with the professor, you also get a connection with the other students.
It holds you accountable. You stay on top of your work and you show up to class, you put in the effort.
You're never gonna have a day where you're like, oh, I think I can get away with maybe not talking so much or maybe not doing this reading. There's really no option for that at Wabash because your professors know exactly who you are and they know exactly how to push you to make sure you're pushing yourself.
And gets the highlights. Now he takes the look away, and he
The Indy Air Bears are performing at halftime. Great crowds all day long here at Southport Fieldhouse. Our sixth and final game. You're watching on ISC Sports Network or IHSAA TV. Our second game here on My Indy TV 23. And with that, it is Mike's second chance for greatness at the Wabash College halftime trivia question. The Little Giants have won the last 3 NCAC conference tournaments. They've made the last 3 NCAA Division III tournaments. And they have won 20 or more games each of the last 3 seasons. So, Mike, your question is true or false? It's the first time in Wabash College history they've had 3 consecutive 21 seasons in basketball. Is that true or is that false?
I'm saying it's false because they've been really good in the past.
Should have stopped while you were ahead. Unfortunately, that is true. It is the first time that's happened in program history. Little Giants were off this week to the finals. They return to action down at Transylvania University for a pair of games next weekend. You can always log on and find out more at wabash.edu. We'll take this quick timeout. We'll come back with our first half highlights. At the break, it is Fishers 30 and Attucks 28. We're back after this on ISC and My Indy TV.
Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays from Peterman Brothers. As a special gift to you, we brought back our free furnace promotion one more month. Install a qualifying heating and cooling system with Peterman and the furnace is free. Visit petermanhvac.com.
Have you been injured at work? Visit your work injury lawyers at indianaworkers.com. We help injured workers. For a free consultation, go to indianaworkers.com, a division of Galitko and Daly. We go to work when you can't.
Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays from Peterman Brothers. As a special gift to you, we brought back our free furnace promotion one more month. Install a qualifying heating and cooling system with Peterman and the furnace is free. Visit petermanhvac.com.
Leaps ahead, still on his feet. Stevens lunges. Are you kidding me?
Champions of Marion County. Unbelievable.
Touchdown.
Living up to that last name.
Wabash has the lead for the first time today.
Said that was going to be a highlight reel.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, you can celebrate after that. Leaps ahead, still on his feet. Stevens lunges. Are you kidding me?
Champions of Marion County. Unbelievable.
Touchdown.
Living up to that last name.
Wabash has the lead for the first time today.
Said that was going to be a highlight reel.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, you can celebrate after that.
As we roll highlights from half number 1, we're going to give you scoring at first. For Fishers, 8 for Nathan Baker, 6 for Miller McCartney, 5 for Jason Gardner, 5 for Cooper Zachary, 4 for Justin Kirby, 2 for John Anthony Hall, Logan Singler, Tommy Williams, Jean-Claude Lahome, all played but did not score. For Crispus Attucks, Hurt 11, 6 for Caden English, 4 for Amon Cousins, 3 for Lamar Jones, 2 for A.J. Jones, and 2 for Roncione Thomas. Julius Spann, Eric Jackson Jr., Alexander Harris all played but did not score. Obviously, it was a tale of, 2 different quarters in the same half. Fishers jumped out to a 27-11 lead. They scored 3 points the rest of the way. The Crispus Attucks Tigers would find 17. Mike, your thoughts as to what we'll see from these 2 teams in half number 2?
Well, I think Fishers has got to stop relying on these 3-point shots and do more penetration against Attucks. They were good early when they penetrated, and those threes came inside out instead of off the dribble and falling down and all that. So they lost their way because the shots weren't as good as they were early when they made the extra pass. For Attucks, you got to keep the ball in Hurt's hands. He's the guy, and everybody plays off him, and they got a shot.
And frankly, part of the issues for Fishers were the fact that they had some foul troubles creep in.
Yeah.
Justin Kirby, Cooper Zachary, Nathan Baker, for as balanced as they are and for anybody on any given night, you get 2 or 3 guys sitting with 2 fouls, now it's a different equation for Coach Weininger.
Yeah, and that hurt them some. But again, they rushed too much in the second quarter, and Attucks guarded them and made them hurry, and so Attucks got back in the game because of their defensive effort.
Earlier today, Warren Central beat South Bend Riley 65-55. New Pal beat Zionsville 65-53. Avon was a 47-43 win over Southport. Greenfield Central lost for the first time in a regular season game in nearly 2 calendar years. Lawrence North beat them 77-59. And the game that preceded this one, Noblesville beat Jeffersonville 64-54. Here at the break, it is Fishers 30, Crispus Attucks 28. Third quarter action comes your way next on ISC and MyIndyTV.
It may seem like 5 cans might not be a lot, but together these donated cans can help create a happier and healthier community. Summers Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling is offering a $69 tune-up when you donate to our local food drive. With Summers PHC matching your donation, we're connecting strangers to neighbors from generation to generation. Get your $69 tune-up now with Summers PHC.
Have you been injured at work? Visit your work injury lawyers at IndianaWorkers.com. We help injured workers. For a free consultation, go to IndianaWorkers.com, a division of Galitko and Daly. We go to work when you can't.
Got the dunk, got the poster, and gets the highlights. Now he takes the look away, and he puts it away.
There's Jason Schanzel on the screen. He is the public address voice of Decatur Central. Here checking out tonight's action alongside Mike Broughton, Greg Rakestraw with you. Appreciate you being with us here on the ISC Sports Network. A little bit of a lighter week before the Christmas holiday for us on ISC. Now that still means games on Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday this week. Our only MyIndyTV game this week is Friday night when Ben Davis takes on Warren Central. Pete Smith joins me for that one. Friday night at 7:30. Now, I don't know what else is going on in local sports on Friday night, but I'm not sure there'll be anything bigger, like maybe a college football playoff game. But I'd watch Ben Davis and Warren Central anyway. Friday night on MyIndyTV 23.
Yeah, there is a college game that day.
Just a slightly important football game that night. Starting 5 back on the floor for Fishers. In Kirby. Roncione Thomas challenging him.
Attucks defends the three-point line and defends the ball really well so far.
And notice they put Jones in the game to start this half.
Yeah,
they have a little defensive effort. There you go. Both Jones are in there for Attucks. Turnover. Drive. Just missed it. Hall walls him off of the rebound. And steps called.
Kirby's had a rough one today. He's just been a little out of control. He needs to slow down a little bit. Attucks, great job here to start the second half as far as...
And the steal by Hall. Got it.
They got to get Hurt the basketball. There they go.
He's the one-man press breaker. I mean, last year, because of he and Mason Lewis, really had 2 point guards that started. The show is all Hurts this year. Shot blocked. Baker with the block. Zachary tracks it down. Let's see if defense springs offense for Fishers. Gardner runner, yes, sir.
Well, that's a good little spurt. They get the steal off the press. You know, Mason Lewis was down in the finals 18 for the All-Stars, so they had really 2 good point guards.
Now playing for Eric Eckelbarger at IU Kokomo. And I think a foul, on Jones, clearing out in the low block. And he called against Attucks.
Attucks worked so hard to get themselves back in the game, and then some silly mistakes, taking the ball out of bounds and losing control. They got to make a stop here. Fisher's on a 4-0 run.
Eric Jackson Jr. will check in. Next stoppage for Attucks. He was a key contributor on their city championship team a year ago. Attucks has won the last 2 city titles.
Really trying to post up Hall up on the inside. He's got a big advantage physically on the inside.
Baker able to keep his footing enough to avoid a traveling violation. Lengthy possession for Fishers. Baker trying to out-quick Jones, up, under. Thing of beauty, and one.
Well, he's got that little step through, nice movement off the dribble. Much better player than I anticipated starting the year.
Well, you said it. It is easy and evident to see the work their kids put in, because so many of them are clearly better players than they were a season ago.
They are. They are much better players, and Coach does a good job with them. He's got a lot of good assistants there with him as well. Looks like a college team. There's college coaching staff sitting there with about 6 guys in suits.
My partner knows what he speaks from his days at the University of Nebraska, Southern Nazarene University, etc.
Yeah, I had 6 or 7 coaches at Jeff. We kind of look like those guys, to be honest.
You got the results, too. Speaking of results, there's a good one for Chris Hurt. And one opportunity. He's got 13, a chance to make it 14.
Hurt did a great job driving the ball to the basket, and again, he stopped the bleeding as it was a 7-0 run.
Hurt's in line. He missed his first try. He has made his last 3. Misses that one. Hall the rebound.
Now Hurt with 11 points, 11 out of their 30. They need to keep the ball in his hands if Attucks has a chance. Attucks really bothering Fishers on that entry pass. They're pushing him out 6, 7 steps outside the 3.
And a foul on Baker, which will be his 3rd. So here comes Sigler in to replace him.
Baker's had an awful good game, so Sigler's going to have to step up, especially on the boards, because when Baker went out of the game for some reason, I know he has size, but I don't remember him getting that many rebounds, but he at least was active in there, and Attucks kind of controlled the boards.
And a hold called against Fishers as Gardner quickly grabbed Hurt, knowing he was beat going down the floor.
Well, Gardner, only a sophomore, has got his hands full with Hurt. Hurt's done a good job defending him as well.
Obviously, Jason, the son of former Indiana Mr. Basketball, Jason Gardner. Now these days in the staff at the University of Arizona, former IUPUI head coach, former North Central High School head coach. Jones on the drive and one.
And Jones, he's about 5'7", and he is so active out there on offense and defense. Really made only one mistake the whole game. That's that inbounds pass. He just took him off the dribble and scorched him.
So Jones with 4 really has not been a big part of the rotation this year for Attucks.
He is today.
He's going to be going forward playing like this.
I think Coach Hawkins, you can go out there and get the job done. You can stay out there, and that's what he is today, because he doesn't have many stats from the season so far.
Miller McCartney checks back in for Fishers, replacing Kirby.
That's Jones 5 points and about 7 or 8 minutes of play. Plus, he's done a great job on Zachary. He's pretty much shut him out.
The Jones boys, Lamar and AJ, have combined for 8 points. They average about 3 a game. Almost an offensive foul against Zachary. Almost a turnover.
Hurts mano-a-mano on Gardner. Gardner's having trouble with Hurts.
And lost the handle. That's a turnover, yep.
Attucks has just physically taken them out of what they want to do. Gardner can't beat Hurt off the dribble. Zachary can't get himself open. And then, like you said, they got a little foul trouble. Kirby's got to get some stuff going himself. He's averaging 11 a game.
It was 2 at halftime, quickly bumped up to 9. Chance to make it 1 or 2, this time down for Crispus Attucks. This is Amon Cousins.
Too much dribbling. He needs to get rid of the basketball. Get the thing to Hurt.
Hurt draws the double. Jones, the scoop.
Oh, no! What a shot.
He's got 7, and it's a 2-point game.
I think we're going to see more of Jones during the rest of the season there. He just took Zachary and schooled him on the inside.
7-0 run for Attucks. Zachary after a dribble.
Oh, Zachary got him back because Jones went underneath the screen and he got picked off. And I think as little as he's played this year, he looks like he's tired. But good shot by Zachary.
That is the 6th made 3 by Fishers. Cousins, no. Sigler walls up with the rebound.
Good rebound by Sigler.
Gardner, good double by Jackson. Somehow found Hall. Not that time. McCartney kept it alive. Hurt got in the passing lane. And now it's Thomas. Sigler races back. I think that's going to be goaltending. There was a backboard slap was the reason for the goaltend.
Well, it's still moving, so he did slap it.
And I said Thomas, my apologies. English that got the bucket. Let's take a look. Yes.
That was a pretty good slap on the goal there by, who was that? Hall.
Yep.
Hall slapped the basket.
That is the right call.
3-point game, 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. What a battle here. It's a great final game of this tournament.
On the drive, Hall, no.
Tell you what, Hall doesn't really look to score a whole lot, but when he decided we're in trouble, he just physically took the inside, got the little 4-footer, got to the free throw line.
So Hall connects.
Like you said, Hall, you know, he kind of plays second fiddle a little bit to these guys, but last year he dominated the state final game. He's averaging 8 points a game, shooting 65% from the field.
You know, we have, Mr. Football, Mr. Basketball, Mr. Miss whatever. If we had, like the Universal Athlete Award for the state of Indiana, it's him. Like high-level football recruit, basketball state champion, compete in the track and field state finals. He's that guy.
I think it would be him or the young man from Ben Davis.
Mark Zachary would be the other guy that would compete for that award.
I think it would be one of those two. They were the junior all-star starting guards last year, and they raised havoc on Kentucky's perimeter.
The GM of that team did a good job in roster construction.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, we got out there and put some heat on them.
Hurts, runner, no. Jackson, no. But got it back again. And then foul against Attucks. And we've seen kind of similar bursts like that in both halves. Again, the speed and athleticism in this game is a sight to behold.
It is quicker than the other 5.
A little bit, yeah. A little bit.
Quite a bit.
And again, Fishers, their closest margin of win so far is 28 points. I don't think we're getting there in tonight's game.
No, I don't think so, because Attucks too tough defensively. And I watched Attucks play last week, and I was kind of impressed, but I'm more impressed right now with what they're doing. They bring in 11 people, 10 to 11, and they just play you.
Kirby, defender went one way, Kirby with the other, and straight to the rim. The rack attack by Kirby.
That's a big mistake by Attucks. That's the first time they really, has a defensive blunder there for sure.
See if that gets Kirby going. He's got 6. Ball tipped, but still saved by Attucks. English in the lane. No. And then Hall inadvertently lands on him. Let's hope he's all right. English will shoot 2.
Two pretty good athletes running into each other on that play, going to the inside. Hall come up limping.
Tonight's game presented in part by the Indy Thunder. They are Indiana's premier baseball organization, which gives blind and visually impaired athletes a chance to compete at the national and international level. The Thunder are 5-time World Series champs, looking for sponsors, volunteers, even players. For 2025, contact Darnell Booker, 317-370-7231. You can watch the Thunder anytime by logging on to iscsportsnetwork.com. Foul was on Sigler, his third. English goes 1 of 2. He is 3 of 6 from the line. Both teams in the 2-shot penalty for the remainder of the quarter. Kirby now with 8.
Good move by Kirby. That's 2 in a row. And it gets them out to their biggest lead here since the first quarter.
Sigler got a piece of that one. Kirby tracks down the loose ball. Kirby on the attack. Got it again. He's got their last 3 buckets.
Kirby just better athletically than Addicks. The lead's up to double digits at 10.
Timeout called by Crispus Addicks. It is a 30-second timeout. We will keep it right here. This 30-second timeout presented by the Indy Card Exchange. Now for more than 30 years, the Indy Card Exchange has been your trusted source for buying and selling trading cards of all kinds. They're refining the game of professional grading with consultation service to help you save time and money. Go to IndyCardExchange.com for more information. See how you can make money off of your collection. And again, you want to spend time Christmas shopping. Get in, get out, get what you want, boom. You got a sports fan? I literally, and my buddy's not watching the game. He's out of the country right now. I have bought a friend of mine, not the same gift. I have bought him a gift the last 4 Christmases from the Indy Card Exchange. Literally, half of his man cave is from the Indy Card Exchange. IndyCardExchange.com, 96th Street, just west of I-69. Coach Addicks did a lot of things right, and they're trailing by 10 points.
Yeah, they really let it get away here the last couple minutes. But again, it's kind of sloppy play, especially defensively. They didn't talk to each other and let them get a couple easy layups.
Well, Kirby is engaged now. Williams in there, the defensive assignment on Hurts. Tough 3, got it, Thomas. Ansion Thomas, his second bucket.
Averages only 7. Good shot. Has 5 tonight.
Addicks, a 41% three-point shooting team. Make a little more than 8 per game. Here's Zachary. Jones is absolutely in his business defensively. Zachary for 3, not that time. Sigler, he's played some really good minutes off the bench in the second half.
Got him 2 or 3 good rebounds here in the last couple minutes. 30 seconds, they go for the last shot most likely, especially without Gardner on the court. I'd run some offense here.
The lead by Zachary to Sigler. Got it. His first bucket.
Good job by Sigler. Good play at the end of the quarter. Addicks turns it over.
7th Addicks giveaway. Sigler's first bucket. He averages 4 points and 4 rebounds a game. And now Baker will come back in to replace him, just as Gardner will come back in to replace Williams. They tried to sit some guys with some foul trouble. I'll bring him in for the final 9 seconds of the quarter. Gardner, runner, no. Crash by Kirby, no! He won't miss that shot again this year. But what was a 2-point game is now back to a 9-point game for Fishers, trying to run their record to 5-0 on the season. Fourth quarter comes your way next from Southport on ISC and My Indy TV.
Wow.
Never let the world dictate who you are, what your why is. Failure isn't possible as long as you believe in your why. This adventure is yours. Create it. Make it yours. Make it powerful. Make it count. Create your own adventure. S-V-I-D.
Tonight's game on ISC and My Indy TV, presented in part by Perky's Heating and Cooling. Call 317-984-5682. Perky's Heating and Cooling in Cicero for all your heating and cooling needs. The many loyal customers give rave reviews for the service provided by Perky's Heating and Cooling. Call John or Cindy at 317-984-5682 to set an appointment. Perky's pride themselves on excellent service. Greg Rakestraw, Mike Broughton with you. Makes of Ismael as Jordan Shue, Dennis Glover, Mike McManus, Rob Lynch, and Eric Connect. Drive by Cousins does not go. Foul against Zachary on the blockout because Thomas had already gotten up in the air.
Good job by Thomas to go after the basketball. Zachary did the best he could to keep him out, but kind of small of stature, couldn't keep him out of the lane.
And the Lance Ringler going to want to cut that for the Ref Talk Facebook page right there. On the drive, Hurt, tough take.
Hurt, excellent drive to the basket. He's kept him in this game. He's got 15.
Foul against Jones. First foul of the quarter against Attucks. And Attucks plays Lawrence Central Tuesday. Then they will head to Evansville to play Jeffersonville on Saturday. They will sneak in a game on December the 23rd against the Heron Acheans. That is a new conference game for Attucks this year. Part of the Capital City Conference.
Jones just locking up Zachary on the outside, except going under one screen, done a great job with him.
Baker turns down the three, then draws the blocking foul against Caden English. Other members of that league for Crispus Attucks: Tech, Heron, Tinley, Purdue Poly downtown, Crystal House, and George Washington.
I think they got a good chance to win that league.
I would say so. They win a lot of leagues this year. Worst City Tournament comes up at the end of January as well. Attucks are going to bye to the quarterfinals given what their seed will be. Millen McCartney for three.
You know, McCartney just stands in there and he'll hit key shots. He did last year, does it again, has 9 3-3s. He just shoots the three ball.
42% from three-point range. And that's going to be a moving screen, the dribble handoff. Again, Jones commits the foul.
See, this is right now where with 6 to go is where you may see the third day sit in.
Yeah.
Because, you know, they fought hard. They've given it everything. They played 3 in a row. The pros don't even do that. And so this last 6 minutes, I think when you get tired, you kind of lose your mind a little bit.
Kirby fouled by Thomas.
Kirby, excellent drive. Excellent drive to the basket. Kirby can put it on the floor and go.
So Kirby to shoot 2. So as Kirby goes to the line for the first time, let's thank our friends at Renner's Body Works. Today's vehicles are complex machines. Why not trust your vehicle to someone who can repair it right? Renner's Body Works, your source for quality collision repair since 1965. Contact Runners at 317-773-9792. Kirby goes 1 of 2, but McCartney kept it alive. Hall tracks it down. And in typical Fishers fashion, no player has more than 11 points. And a hand check foul, and that's going to be the 15th foul. So that means that Fishers will be shooting the penalty for the remainder of this game. Gardner, who is just 1 of 3 from the stripe tonight, came in 9 of 12 on the season. Connects on that one. But the 5 starters for Fishers have between 8 and 11 points tonight.
That's how they can win the state again, right there.
Yep.
They just have so many bodies that you just wear them down in the end. They're up 13, and you think Attucks has played a great game, and it's 13 points.
Little full court pickup here by Fishers. Jones, 3. Yes, my goodness.
Man, I tell you what, he hadn't played much this year, but he better play some more.
The secret weapon has been unleashed. Great body control by Kirby. And that's going to be, again, the flop call, and that's now the second one, which is a technical foul. Yep. So, the assist to Kirby, the basket scored, And now free throws coming up on the technical. For the second time, a flop has been called against an Attucks player.
Not sure there's 10 guys in the state as fast from one end to the other as Kirby. When he takes off and he has those long strides, and he has just broken down Attucks in the second half.
Zachary gets the free throw. He's got 9. He is now a perfect 5 of 5 from the line this season.
I think with Zachary, I think a tie game with 4 seconds to go in the state finals, I think my chances were good with him. Even down 1, I think our chances would be good.
And that is very much a penalizing call in high school, because it's a flop warning technical, and then the ball then reverts back.
Well, they got the layup, they got the free throws,
right.
So this could be a 7-point play.
And again, the technical in high school still conveys possession.
Right.
So it goes back to Fishers.
So they scored the layup, they had the flop, they made the free throws, and now if they hit a 3, it'll be 7-0 run. That's going to be more than I think Attucks is going to be able to handle. So you take out Kirby and you bring in Hall.
Sling it to Gardner. Wing 3. Got it.
7-point play. And the game was 10 when they came down the court, and it's 17 when Attucks gets it back.
Hurt down the lane. Left it short. Going to be off of McCartney.
You can tell now they're really dragging. I mean, it gets to you. I don't care how good a shape, how much they work, how hard they run. You play 3 good opponents. You're traveling around different games. Warren Central is physical. I know that for a fact. And Lalamere has a bunch of hopefully pro players someday, and now they face the #1 team in the state.
Again, Jones. He's got a dozen.
My. What a good player. Not very big.
Still a 15-point game for Fishers. Zachary on the drive, the dish, Gardner. You can be just a fan of the game and enjoy watching this Fishers team. You don't enjoy playing them very much, but you enjoy watching it as a fan. That shot from Span does not go, and Baker gets the rebound.
No, they help each other. They're fundamentally sound. They pass it to each other. And it's going to take a good team to beat them. I don't know right now in December 14th if there is one, to be honest, in Indiana.
And they went 29-1 last year. Jump ball is called, and the Arrow will keep it here. In HSE, crazy things happen in rivalry games. The Mudsock is Friday night at the Fishers Event Center. They have to go to Pike, do Fishers, in early January. And Pike has been really good so far this year. Gardner with the extended arm going to be called for the foul.
Now that was quite a play right there. That was physical. I think they each fouled each other, and Gardner ended up getting the call against him, but no quit in Attucks. They're just tired.
And they will have, at least from a kind of a mileage standpoint, kind of a similar run in mid-January. They will play 3 games in 5 days in the city quarterfinals. Then they will play 3 more games in 4 days after that. Just the way the schedule works out. Cousins, no, it's not been a great return to Southport for him. Foul on Kirby. 3rd foul against Fishers. And on Kirby, that will be his 3rd of the night. So after the city quarters, then semis, then finals, they will play Washington on a Wednesday, Crystal House on a Friday, then at Ben Davis on Saturday. And again, we'll have that game for you on MyIndyTV. Jones again, wide right. Gardner will track it down. Well, this one looks like it's going to be yet another win for Fishers. But frankly, Attucks played better than the final score might indicate. Gardner, yes.
Hey, Jones is small, and he just got whipped that time with the drive to the basket, but played awful well.
The pull by Cousins, no. Just 4 for Cousins. He came in averaging 16 points a game heading to the weekend. But maybe pressing just a bit too much, being back in his old gym as a former Southport Cardinal. Zachary stripped. Span on the drive. Blocked by Hall. Extra pass goes to Jones. Not that time. He'll try it from 10 and get it. And a timeout called by Attucks. We'll step aside. 3:21 to play. Fishers leads at 67-50 on ISC and MyIndy TV.
It may seem like 5 cans might not be a lot, but together these donated cans can help create a happier and healthier community. Summers Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling is offering a $69 tune-up when you donate to our local food drive. With Summers PHC matching your donation, we're connecting strangers to neighbors from generation to generation. Get your $69 tune-up now with Summers PHC.
And gets the highlights. Now he takes the look away and he puts it away.
As we show you some highlights, tonight's game brought to us part by Old National Bank. Visit us at oldnational.com, and A.J. Jones making a name for himself. Again, 14 points. Really hadn't seen the floor all that much this season, but 14 points in tonight's game.
Only a sophomore and the smallest young man on the court, but big heart.
Almost a turnover. I think that's nope, going to be touched by Gardner. There will be a turnover. And this one is cleared out from a building standpoint.
See, here's a plus for Fishers is Attucks is playing all guards, so Fishers, they bring in all guards. So no big guys on the court right now, all 6'2", 6'3", and below, but are quick.
Just joining us, Desmond Briscoe out with an ankle injury. Missing a 7th consecutive game. He'll be back soon. Hurt, walled off by Hall. There's Jones, who got fouled. And free throws coming up as Hall commits the infraction. Jones in the line to shoot 2.
I imagine the next time we see Attucks, Mr. Jones here will be playing more. He'll have some stats the next time we come around.
Our presenting sponsor for high school basketball at ISC and MyIndy TV is Summers Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Proud to support high school sports. Contact Summers for your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. They are located near you. So 15 for Jones.
This has been an early season highlight. Watching or doing TV for these 2 games, both games. Noblesville, Jeff, Fishers, Attucks, excellent teams, good coaching, fun to watch.
What you'd expect in an event like this, the best of the best. This event has delivered that for the time we've been involved with it. All realizing the 5-second count was being applied, knew it, you put it on the deck. And Fishers doing their best, trying to take the air out of the basketball as best they can.
Well, they got some quickness on the corners if they stay wide.
In a 15-point game, Attucks not fouling at this juncture. Kirby on the take, and then Kirby blows a tire.
He's out of control a little bit. He could have jump stopped. If he'd have jump stopped, he had the little 6-footer. Not a whole lot of kids know how to do that anymore. Some of the better ones do.
For those who are tuning in for the Wish TV local news, you can catch that over on our sister station, Wish TV. And we'll get it to you as quickly as we possibly can here on MyIndy TV. You're watching the finale of the Forum Tip-Off Classic at Southport Fieldhouse alongside Mike Broughton, Greg Rakestraw. Fishers looking to continue their run. Last year's state champs trying to get to 5-0. They lead by 15, less than 2 to play. Cousins, runner, no. Rebound, English, yes, and a foul.
English has worked hard, made some mistakes today, but he gives them a big body inside and out that can put it on the floor.
You know, the exact same thing we said about Jeffersonville after the last game, you say about Attucks for this one. You give this group Briscoe, they're going to be just fine.
Yeah, everything's going to take a lot. There's going to be a lot more heat after 1st of January because everybody will be back. Hopefully they'll all stay healthy so we can get a true champion. And like you said, 3A is going to be tough.
13-point game after English missed from the line.
But the sad part in the 3A, if Attucks and Cathedral are in the same sectional, then one of them is only going to be around for a couple days.
In case you were wondering, the draw show, February 23rd. Might be important in that sectional, and a lot of sectionals around the state of Indiana.
Well, in that sectional, I don't know who else is in it, but they're not going to be able to play those two teams. So wherever they light, they're going to face each other either Tuesday through Saturday, one of those times, because both of those teams, I doubt if there's anybody else that can play them in there.
Bench warning against Crispus Attucks.
Mr. Shields had some warnings today.
The oop to Hall, left hand, no. Put back, yes. Hall with 8.
With that athleticism, Hall makes the game look easy. He's got his average at 8.
Jones, no. And foul on the rebound. Free throws coming up here. That's on Baker. Baker, one of 4 Tigers double figures. He'll finish with 11 because he just fouled out.
Had a good game. Hit those threes early to get him ahead, and got in the wrong place at the wrong time on that play, but with a minute to go, it really doesn't matter.
So English to shoot 2. Let's thank our friends at Galitko and Daly. Turn to experienced lawyers for help at Galitko and Daly PC. Our passionate goal is to bring the power of the law to meet the needs of the injured and those that have suffered medical harm. Learn more at IndianaWorkers.com and IndyMalpractice.com. English now with a dozen. Well, this will be the smallest margin of victory for Fishers so far this year. Timeout called by Fishers. See if it's 30 or full. I think it's going to be of the full variety, so let's step aside. 52 seconds left to play. Fishers leads it by 14 on ISC and MyIndy TV.
It may seem like 5 cans might not be a lot, but together these donated cans can help create a happier and healthier community. Summers Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling is offering a $69 tune-up when you donate to our local food drive. With Summers PHC matching your donation, we're connecting strangers to neighbors from generation to generation. Get your $69 tune-up now with Summers PHC.
And gets the highlights. Now he takes the look away and he puts it away.
Final margin, really all that's in doubt at this point. 52 ticks the clock left to go. Fishers pushed a 10-point lead to 17. Another timeout called by Fishers. This is a 30-second timeout.
Tell you one thing, Coach Hawkins got him playing hard till the end. I mean, you deny that ball like that, that was great.
Baker, 11 points before fouling out for Fishers in tonight's game. He was outstanding, was Baker. And did foul out of the contest early. He's still lobbying, seeing how that last foul wasn't really on me, by the way. Thanks to the good folks at Southport. They were tremendous in hosting us, and they're so used to doing that here. We'll be back here in this building for the Marion County semis and finals on January 17th and 18th.
Well, Fisher's with the 29-1 and now 5-0. That's 34-1 if my math is correct.
You're correct.
And that is winning upon winning.
And again, you're playing the best competition in the state, night in, night out. Foul called against Jones. Zachary will shoot 2 free throws. We will keep our post game as snappy as possible. Oh, and our crew has been here all day long.
And enjoying it, too.
Well, of course, absolutely. Go back and watch all these games on demand at iscsportsnetwork.com. Fishers fans, the next time we will see your team will be at the Henry Community Health Hall of Fame Classic in 2 weeks. Again, Fishers in Warsaw in the morning session. Our evening games from Newcastle that night will be on MyNDTV 23.
Hey, I'm going to be with you.
Yes, you will be for those games.
I can't wait.
Hurt. Shot was altered. Well, Attucks will drop to 6-2, but trust me, they're going to be just fine. If you tell Chris, hey, you're going to win 5 games without Desmond Briscoe against the schedule they play, they're going to be good.
Yep, and they found a couple other players tonight, too. He's deeper now than he was when he went into this game.
No need for further activity here. Fishers will run their record to 5-0. They got a battle from Attucks, but yet they have won every game this year by 15 or more. Fishers 70 and Crispus Attucks 55 will take this time out. Post-game coverage comes your way next on ISC and MyNDTV.
What's in a name? What's in a name? Ed Martin Automotive Group, the only name you need to know.
Final score, Garrett Weininger's team goes to 5-0 on the season. They win this one 70-55. Mike, your final thoughts on this one?
It was a great day, great last 2 games. Attucks put up a valiant effort. Fishers, 2 consistent, like you said, 5 guys in double figures. There's nobody you can key on. They have truly a good team, a good, unselfish team.
Jason Gardner, 18. Kirby, Zachary Baker, all at 11 for Fishers. For Crispus Attucks, Chris Hurt with 15. A.J. Jones with 16, and Caden English with 12. More post-game coverage from Southport when we come back on the ISC Sports Network.
Have you been injured at work? Visit your work injury lawyers at indianaworkers.com. We help injured workers. For a free consultation, go to indianaworkers.com, a division of Galitko and Daly. We go to work when you can't. Have you been injured at work? Visit your work injury lawyers at indianaworkers.com. We help injured workers. For a free consultation, go to indianaworkers.com, a division of Galitko and Daly. We go to work when you can't.
70-55, the final score. The 2024 edition of the Forum Tip-Off Classic is now in the past tense. Tonight's game presented by the Ed Martin Automotive Group. Ed Martin, the only name you need to know. By Galitco and Daily, we go to work when you can't. Learn more at IndianaWorkers.com. By the Indy Card Exchange, go to IndyCardExchange.com to see how you can make money off of your collection. By Old National Bank, visit us at OldNational.com. By Summers Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, proud to support high school sports. And by Wabash College, schedule your visit today at wabash.edu. Today's winning teams in game number 1, it was Warren Central. Game number 2, it was New Pal. Game 3 belonged to the Avon Orioles. The 4th game went to Lawrence North. Game 5 to Noblesville, and game number 6 to the Fishers Tigers. We'll take this quick timeout. We'll come back and wrap up a great day of high school hoops in just a moment on ISC and My Indy TV.
What's in a name? What's in a name? Ed Martin Automotive Group, the only name you need to know.
Have you been injured at work? Visit your work injury lawyers at IndianaWorkers.com. We help injured workers. For a free consultation, go to IndianaWorkers.com, a division of Galitco and Daily. We go to work when you can't.
McCulling in time. Oh, no! It's good.
This one is
Got it. There you go.
Wow, Dawson makes a great catch.
Spin, win, 3, bury it for Leland Walker.
Tie the game they do with the dunk by Malik Edmonds. What a play.
Oh, my goodness.
I
feel a little momentum starting to fall Ellen's way.
That in the air. Wrestler! Wrestler!
Whoa! Ball here. Harris scores. With 19 seconds remaining. Same players, big boy. I'm telling you right now, that's awesome. I love it. Awesome finish. You get a layup to take it. And an and one. Out of here. Want to thank our great ISC Sports Network crew. Thanks to Mike McManus, Rob Lynch, Eric Annette. Thank you to Vince Morelez, Jordan Shue, and Dennis Glover. Thanks to our great broadcasters that were here all day long. Whether it's Kurt Darling, Jan Bozier, Rob Brown, Pete Smith, alongside Mike Broughton. I am Greg Rakestraw. Mike, final thoughts on this entire day of basketball?
Great day of basketball. Going to be a great January and February for the tournament, and I'll see you at the Hall of Fame. You have a Merry Christmas, and for the fans, Merry Christmas, and keep watching the broadcast because high school basketball is very good in Indiana.
I'll see you in 2 weeks, my friend. For Mike Brown and our entire ISC Sports Network crew, this is Greg Rakestraw. Good night from Southport in the finale. Fishers 70 and Crispus Attucks 55. You can watch the 2024 Forum Tip-Off Classic on ISC and My Indy TV.